Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Rock Your Comeback podcast. I'm your host, Nicole Eaton, and it's 2026. And last year we were bringing you some really cool episodes where I got to hang out with my business partner, Christy from New York. And we're bringing her back because everybody loves her. And of course, they're going to want to, you're going to want to talk, you're going to want to listen to what we have to say. So, Miss Christy Forsyth, welcome back.
And I love you all too. So thanks for having me back.
I'm excited
It's
that
been
you're
a
back.
while.
It's been a minute. I feel like we
Yeah.
get on a good streak and then we
hmm
both get freaking busy and then we're like scrambling to find our way back together. But it's a new year, so we're gonna make it a priority. I have a good feeling about it.
Yeah, everything in the right timing anyway.
Chrissy and I started this podcast pretty late because we got in a real strong conversation about menopause and perimenopause. So we won't bore you with those details, but I'm telling you, this aging process is not for the weak, and
I'm ahead of you and I'm telling you, like, it gets worse.
here's
I'm
my
sure
thing.
though, I'm on the brink of things getting better.
I'm just trying to look like
It has
you
to.
when I get to your age. Like that's the goal, right? Is to like look as
Aw,
young as you look. Everybody always thinks Chrissy and I are the same age, and she's just
we are
much
not
older.
much older.
Much older. Christy and I used to work together, and I always just gave her so much shit. Like she would bring something up, and I'd be like, "Do you want to know how old I was when that happened?" And I would be just the biggest
Like,
asshole of all
makes
time.
me sick to my stomach sometimes, those stories.
Like, I know she was like talking. What you were talking maybe about like 9/11 at one point. I'm like, "Do you want to know where I was during 9/11?" I was in my ninth grade algebra class. She's like, "Oh, stop talking."
So that was a fun side story. That was the time that I was like talking to this much younger guy, and it was like on September 11th. And I said, "Well, where were you on September 11th?" Because I was telling him how I was in college and I actually got out of a test that day because of it. And I remember like all this stuff changed that day. And he was like, "Well, like that was the year that I was born." So that was awkward.
They were
So you
so.
probably don't remember what you were doing that day.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
incredible.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no, I don't really feel like there's an age gap between us until you bring up something like that. And I'm like, yeah, well, don't talk about
Yeah.
that. But we're back and we're super excited to just get you going in the new year, to get you rocking your comeback, to feeling in your personal power. And today we were going to talk about taking up space. And what does that mean in your life? And I was thinking about this the other day because me and Cameron were at Publix. It's a grocery store here. And we were at Publix, we're in the self-checkout line, and she's like speed scanning our items. And I'm like, Cameron, we're okay. Like we don't have to hurry. Like we're not in a rush. She's like, there's just a lot of people waiting. And I'm like, we're okay to like check out in our own time and our own process. But that's something that it took me honestly forever to learn. And I think I'm still unlearning that feeling of being, I don't want to say in the way, but like, yeah, just like the times where I'm taking up too much space or I'm making people wait for me, it's taken me a lot of time to slow down. And it's funny because it's my kids who trigger that for me of like, wait, we're okay to be here. Like we deserve to be here and have a nice checkout experience without speed rushing so that we're out of the way.
Yeah, it's something for me that I think I've been working on for a long time. I think I've shared here how for years I had issues with public speaking and just feeling really afraid to speak and to use my voice and all of that. So I feel like I've come a really long way with that. But at the end of last year, I had switched gyms and I just had this day where I happened to notice like like you don't push your way in there. I would like avoid using the machine that I wanted to use or the area that I wanted to use, even if no one was using it, because I was thinking maybe somebody would want to use it. And I just had this moment where I called myself out and it was like, what are you doing? Like, why do you do that? Why are you so focused on what you're anticipating is going to make other people comfortable, and why you're not focusing on that yourself. And then I started to notice that even when I'm lifting weights in the mirror, I'm not making eye contact in the mirror. I'm not looking in the mirror. Like almost like I'm just like shrinking myself. And so I said in 2026, that's a big focus for me, is to just get much more comfortable in taking up space, because I'm always very aware of the energy in the room, but I don't want to allow that to continue to make me smaller and to shrink me. And sometimes I think too, like we make assumptions about what other people need from us or want from us, and that's not even the case either. So that's, yeah, that's a big thing that I'm working on right now.
Kylie came home the other day and she she misinterpreted something one of the girls on the bus said, and I think they said hi and she said good. And then she spent the entire rest of the bus ride just feeling humiliated. And by the time she got home, she was like bursting into tears. And she was like, this girl's gonna think, like, she thinks I'm a weirdo. And I'm like, Kylie, like, I've done that before. Daddy makes fun of me all the time about it. Like I've done that before, exactly that. And she's like, no, she's just gonna think I'm so weird. And I'm like, when you assume what other people are thinking, which you absolutely never know unless they directly tell you, that is your own projection of your own self from an outside perspective and how you would view you. And it's always mean. It's never correct. Like, I don't think that if somebody said that to me, I might giggle because it's funny, but I wouldn't think that they're a certain kind of person because of it. So we make a lot of assumptions about how people feel when we're worried about taking up space. And the truth is like no one cares.
Exactly. No one cares. And like, even if they do, I mean, I just have this part of me that can be awkward and I know it, right? But what's so funny is that like I'll have situations like that happen. I had that happen at the gym 2 weeks ago. There was someone that I thought was someone else, and I'm like emphatically waving at them, and it was not the person. I'm like, "Oh, hey," like just and I was a little bit embarrassed for a minute, but something that I've learned over time is that, like, number one, people always give me that feedback, like, that's my favorite thing about you. So I've just kind of learned to own it and embrace it and to laugh about it. So even if other people do perceive it as funny in some way, I think when you own it, that's part of being willing to take up space, is just to say, like, this is who I am, this is how I show up in the world, and like I just have a sense of humor about it. I think that helps.
You have to laugh at yourself. Like
Hmm.
you're not going to get through life if you take everything so seriously. And I said to Kylie, I'm like, Kylie, tomorrow's a chance to start over. Why don't you go sit on the bus and be a normal person? Like, why don't you know, like put on your best normies, like just act confident and then ask her what her name is and ask if you can sit with her and just reset it. That's the thing, is we can reset anybody's perception of us at any minute, and we can reset our own feeling about what perception we're giving off just by honestly faking it till we make it or pretending. I'm reading this really interesting book called Cues. Do you know who Vanessa Edwards is?
Mm-mm.
So her whole thing is like how what makes people charismatic, and like how do we show up as warm and competent, which is what like charisma actually is. It's a certain balance of competence, not to the point where you're cold, but a certain balance of warmth, not to the point you're a people pleaser. And so you might feel that way, but when you get on a stage, for example, or when you get in a group that you're uncomfortable with, she talks about all of the nonverbal things that you can control to make sure that you're conveyed how you want to be conveyed rather than picking up nervous cues. Or she was giving the example of the guy who created the Ring doorbell and how it went on to, he sold the company to Amazon and now he's a shark investor, but he went on Shark Tank and the whole time, like all of his cues were so off that they didn't believe in the product because he was warm and
Mm-hmm.
friendly, but there was no level of competence. So we can do a lot when it comes to resetting our own standards of our own charisma just by being mindful of like those different features and those different verbal cues and nonverbal cues. And it's just really fascinating. I love her work. She did a really good podcast with Diary of a CEO. And I was like,
Wait, what is it called?
Diary of a CEO. Did you think I
I
said
swear,
diarrhea?
I thought you said diarrhea of a CEO. I'm like, what? Okay. That's an
Well, if
interesting
that
point. That makes
exists,
way more sense.
honestly, I'm sure you can find that on Reddit somewhere. There's got to be some kind of, spin-off series for your
Not
brain.
really a book I'd be interested in reading, I don't think.
You haven't listened to Diary of a CEO?
No?
Oh my God, it's so good.
Oh,
It's
okay.
so good. He has the most interesting guests of like all sorts of different types of people, like not just business
Mhm.
people. It's like real conversations with all kinds of people. But she was on there and she's just really well spoken and interesting. And it's just things to be mindful of so you can feel more confident throughout your day. And I think like when we're talking about taking up space, confidence is responsible for us being willing to take up space or not take up space. And so I find myself in situations like the gym. I stick to what I know. But there's times where I'm like, oh, I'd be curious to go over there with all the bros. But like that is a place where I don't feel as confident and I can walk on stage at a massive corporation and be fine. So it's just funny because you might notice your willingness to take up space in different parts of your life is different than others.
Absolutely. And I think like in different settings too, you want to look for these little opportunities to take up more space, right? Or to push yourself out of your comfort zone. So I've been pushing myself out of my comfort zone and putting myself in those places where I would feel more, well, yeah, more uncomfortable, I guess. Like they wouldn't necessarily, I would typically stick to the machines, but I've been following a different program now, and it's been forcing me to do that. Or I've also been just consciously choosing, for example, to make eye contact with people more rather than looking down, rather than looking away or avoiding it. I've been doing that, and even having conversations with people, starting conversations with people. I consider myself to be pretty naturally shy. So stuff like that has always been uncomfortable for me. But I find like when I do just those little things that just start to stretch me out of my comfort zone a little bit more, that feels really good. And I start to feel more confident in myself and more comfortable in my skin.
Eye contact is such a good one to remember. That's something that I'm
Yeah.
actively working on. I know, here's the thing. I know when I'm in the right energy where my magnetism is on and eye contact comes easy and conversation comes easy. My goal and things that I have been working on is when I'm not in that energy, like today, where I'm rage PMSing and I want to hibernate in my little hole and wear a sweatsuit. Like I have to go out tonight. I'm taking my daughter to a concert and to dinner to celebrate her getting her college applications in. And I have to stay up late. Like there's a lot of things that I have going on tonight that I need to like be ready for. So my goal this year is to be able to do those things even when I'm not feeling my best or like my most powerful self. And I think that those cues we were just talking about, like being intentional about eye contact, being intentional about starting a conversation, even if you don't know where it's going to go, those are all things that are important. And somebody said the other day on maybe like a reel or a TikTok that I was watching, somebody was saying the more in person you do, like even if you're instead of Instacarting going to the store or instead of, um, ordering takeout going to the restaurant, she said it gives the universe more options to bless you when you're out and about, or gives it more pathways to
It
bless
makes
you. And I was
sense.
like,
Yeah,
that's
that makes
so
total
that's such
sense.
a cute way to think about it, isn't it?
Yeah. Because like you're out there more, right?
Yeah.
You're not like so closed in. And I think like the universe is always trying to orchestrate really beautiful things for us, but if we're not willing to put ourselves out there, then it makes it really hard, right? So if you're like in a place where you want to find the man of your dreams, for example, you have to put yourself out there. You have to be willing to be out in public, to leave the house. That's a tough one for me
I
sometimes,
want to leave
right?
the
But
house.
I kind of know like, oh yeah, I've got to do that. I've got to put myself out there more, to try new and different things and to try new and different experiences. Like I just this week started to go to a Bible study, and I was again, it made me uncomfortable to go to it because I'm like, this is like different. And, but I also felt like this year I really want to know God on a whole other level. I feel really deeply connected with God and just to know God in different ways and maybe through learning different things. And so I went to that and met a lot of cool people just last night, So it's like, if we're willing to
And
put ourselves
today you're
out there and try different and by the way, people were there. Like I love to talk about weird stuff, right? Like all about it. And so one of the guys that was there like starts to go, well, what about the missing text from the Bible? And what about dragons and giants and Nephilim and all this stuff? And I'm like, oh my God, this is my Bible study. And it was at a gym. It was great.
saying.
So
And with
I think like it's that willingness to put ourselves out there too in different ways and to stretch ourselves.
well, and the theme is being uncomfortable. You were not sure what to expect walking to a Bible study. You were not sure what to expect going to grab different types of weights at the gym. Like all of
Mhm.
these pieces are important. And like once you do it, you're like, wait a second, this isn't as bad as I made it out to be in my head. I'm still not personally probably leaving the house more than 3 times until February. But this is on top of my mind. Like, it's okay if you two are hibernating right now. I made Christy take a good look at my book nook before we started. Like, I'm very proud of that. And my paint by numbers, I'll show her in a few minutes. But it is okay if you're hibernating right now, even if your intention is to take up space. Like, it's okay to still honor your personal energy. There will be a point in time that will shift for you and you'll be ready to move out of it. And I know for me, I'll be ready to move out of it. But I'm just very mindful that in January, every single year almost, I'm in this energy where I just want to like homestead and make my own butter. Make my own bread, make my own butter, or like make some jam. Like I need a bonnet or some shit. But the theme is discomfort. Actually, in December, I did something that was really uncomfortable, and I went and I was an extra in a Netflix show. And so I like had to fake eat dinner in front of about 70 people with cameras and mics and stars. And so that like on repeat for like 3 hours, just fake eating dinner. It's very hard to like pretend to eat dinner for 3 hours. I don't know if anybody's ever like tried that, but just to pretend to eat dinner for hours and to pretend like it's really fun that you're having these conversations with these people you've never met before in your life. But like I was thinking after I did it, that was a really long day, but like I kind of needed that. Like I kind of needed to like put myself in a situation where I didn't know anybody and I didn't know anything about what I was doing and I was trying something new even if I was kind of bad at it and like there was a scene that was completely silent and I fucking knocked over the silverware so it just like clinged everywhere and I'm like they're going to kick me out of this whole thing. Like this going to get kicked out. But the theme of the year is if you can get a little uncomfortable and push your boundaries just a little to try something new. I mean, that's how we reprogram ultimately is to put
Absolutely.
ourselves in something new.
Yeah. I think the other thing is too, like just remembering that everybody around us, they're just people, right? And I know I've had a tendency in the past to put people on a pedestal and to just like make them better than me in some way or to make their needs more important than mine in some way. And that's been a mindset shift for me this year too, is to just like look at everybody like you're just a person. And I guess I'm blessed in this way that I've worked one on one with people for 26 years now, professionally. And so I've heard a lot of people's stories and I've gotten to see a lot of people's insides and all people from all walks of life. And the theme that I've noticed is that, like, first of all, nobody truly has their shit together. Like, everybody's got their stuff, right? But I've also noticed that just like they're all just people. Like they're all just like working through their own stuff and they all have their stuff going on. Even these people that if I didn't know better, I would have in the past idealized them in some way. So I just kind of called myself out on that, and I said, "You've got to knock that off because like people are just people." And so like this is the lens that I've been trying to view the world through is okay, like this is just a person, and this is just a person. I said hi to the hottest guy at the gym last week.
Hey.
I, yeah, like and like we've got a little vibe going. It's good, right? Like because I didn't go, oh, like this is, like out of my league or whatever. Like I just said people are just people. He's just a person. A really hot one, but he's just a person. And you know what he did? He said hi back and he licked his lips at me like he was LL Cool J. So,
I was gonna say,
I'll
let
keep
him
you
know
guys
you'll baptize
updated.
him. I've been giving Christy shit all day because she's wearing a white turtleneck with a blazer over. I told her she looks like a priest because she went to Bible study last night. So yeah, let him know you'll baptize him later. It'll be fine.
I, I
Um,
I will absolutely baptize him.
we want you guys to take up space this year. We want you to give yourself permission to be bigger and bolder in the things that you do, to get rejected more, to put yourself in positions to get rejected more, to get out in the world more, to get back in reality, to get back with real people and off the internet. And so that's your challenge. And I hope you take it, and I hope you tag us in it if you feel inspired from doing this. I will drop all of our information to connect with both Christy and I in the show notes. But thanks for hanging with us. Let us know if there's other things you want us to talk about, and we will catch you soon. Bye.
We love you guys. See you soon. Bye.